Hello, everyone. Welcome to JXC Spotlight, another episode of an interesting discussion on a very, very interesting topic. To start today's topic, how many of y'all have heard about Hyrox? Yes, this is a worldwide competition competed by thousands of athletes worldwide, and it moves around the world. And recently, it was in South Asia, in Thailand, and I'm happy to say my guest today took part in this competition. It's a amazing competition. I'm not going to reveal all the details. I'll let her speak about it. Yes, it's a female candidate or the guest today in my show. So to introduce our candidate who has taken part in Hyrox, and just to give us a snippet of this competition, it's a fitness endurance competition. You have to run for 2 kilometers, if I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll go into more details, but you have to complete a lot of fitness related tasks during that run. Not an easy task, but the person in front of me has completed that. I'm very proud, and also giving me the privilege of working with her at Janashakti Group. She is none other than Dimani Silva, Manager Mergers and Acquisitions. She also possesses a qualification on SEMA and financial engineering. She has experience being at KPMG, now with Janashakti Group. Dimani, welcome to JXC Spotlight, and the spotlight is on you.
Thank you, Gamik. I'm so glad to be part of the spotlight.
Right. Dimani, let's dive into my intro about Hyrox. I don't know whether I got it right. From what I heard and the clips I saw, what you have posted, it's an amazing competition and challenging one. Tell us a little bit about how did you get into this, and your achievement, and about the competition as well.
For sure. So, Hyrox for me is an experience that I'll never get tired of talking about, to be honest, because I think it was something that I signed up for, which is out of my comfort zone. And I think it's actually challenging enough to be good enough to put on a CV, I would say.
Absolutely.
Just to give context and to kind of say what's so big of a deal when it comes to Hyrox. So, when you take the fitness industry, it has evolved so much, and now it's not really limited to having the best body, hitting the gym 24/7. Now it's more of you performing better, being able to compete and challenge your body, getting out of your comfort zone. So I'm so glad to see how it has changed now. So if I take the fitness industry now, there are two sides of the spectrum. You have sports and different fitness events that are endurance based heavily, such as running, swimming, cycling. And then you also have the more weight oriented, like powerlifting, weightlifting. And then we can also put in the other different sports which fall in between. So, in my opinion, Hyrox is actually a good mix of endurance and also functional fitness and weight oriented movements. So, that is the gist of what Hyrox is. So, a bit about the competition per se, what you're supposed to do. Like you mentioned, it has a lot of traction because it's a very inclusive kind of competition, regardless of your fitness level, regardless of your age, your gender, even if you're differently abled, anyone can participate. It happens throughout the year in different countries. And recently in May, they had it in Thailand, is the one that I competed in. So the workout is set. It's actually an 8 kilometer course of running.
Oh, 8 kilometers. I got it
Yes,
wrong at the beginning.
correct.
Yeah,
No
thank you.
worries.
Yeah.
So it's 8 kilometers of running. So after every kilometer that you complete, you have a functional fitness station to do.
Right.
So there are 8 different stations like that. For example, there's ski erg, sled push, sled pull, burpee broad jump, and then you have the rowing machine, weighted lunges, wall balls, and I think I'm missing something, farmer's carry. So depending on whether you're competing alone or with a partner, you can do it with mixed doubles as well. And also your gender, the weights of those stations would change. So the objective is that you need to complete it as fast as you can in the minimum amount of time. World record, world champs completed in 50 to 55 minutes.
Wow.
So when I competed, 6 of my really close friends from my gym also competed at the same time. I did it with a female partner, good friend of mine. We both completed it in 1 hour and 34 minutes,
Oh,
which was
impressive.
definitely something challenging to do, to run. So our total running time would be around 54 minutes. So it's about kind of doing your best, the optimal time that you can finish it. So the experience for me was not only just flying to Thailand. This was my first time flying overseas for a fitness competition. Not just that competition day. I think the whole experience for me is preparing myself with a partner as well to be able to compete in it. It was a total of 4 to 5 months of training that
Preparation, yeah.
went into this. When I say I came out of my comfort zone, I was never an endurance athlete.
Really? Okay.
Before Hyrox, I was mostly into CrossFit, weight training, kind of endurance. I actually personally thought to myself, I'm never good at running. But with the training that came into it, I needed to start running. I've kind of built on myself. And now, after the competition, which ended in May, I see myself running half marathons. At
Wow. Okay.
21 kilometers is like nothing for me. I mean, I've come to that point. So I think the experience has been amazing, and a lot of traction is coming in now. It's very inclusive, and it's a very humbling experience.
Fantastic. So this is what it does when somebody pushes the boundaries and come out of the comfort zone, that you will discover new talents and skills that you had. Dimani, rewind for a couple of years back. I want you to tell us and our followers, how did you get into fitness, and and it's part of your life right now, yeah?
Correct. Like you said, it's kind of my identity now.
Yep.
I think anyone who would know me, that would be the first thing that they would tell about me, that it's so part of my identity now. But this whole fitness personality that I have built really started with a weight loss journey, to be
Okay.
honest. So, like 5, 6 years ago, just after A levels, I found myself being 10 kilos, 15 kilos heavier than I was because of the studying that went into A levels. It was just no activity at all. And then, I just thought, okay, I need to lose this weight. That was as simple as that. So, me and my mom actually went to this Zumba studio. That
Okay.
was how my fitness really started. I'm a person that always works out with group of people, and it challenges me. And I've noticed that I always want something challenging to do.
Right.
So Zumba was fun. It did the job. It helped me shed a lot. I enjoyed the community that was coming in. It was all ladies, so it was very empowering to be around so many females in different backgrounds as well. So then I lost the weight, I did the job, 1.5 years, 2 years. Then COVID hit, and then things closed down, and then I turned into home workouts, YouTube hit workouts and things like that. But, at some point, when you get so used to a certain type of activity, your body doesn't respond anymore. Like, it needs a change. Coincidentally, at the same time, my friend introduced me to a CrossFit gym.
Right.
Name is Downtown Fitness Club in Jayala. So CrossFit is actually labeled across Sri Lanka in different gyms, but it's actually a very skilled and should be only done by qualified trainers, in my opinion. CrossFit itself is a US-based concept. In order to actually name yourself as a CrossFit gym, also you need the affiliation and also the subscription to be paid. So luckily, the Downtown Fitness Club had 2 trainers with that experience, with the qualifications, and I got a fundamental course done. And I think that really set my foundation in terms of weight training, because women work, and weight training is something that's not really educated properly in Sri Lanka, I've seen. So then CrossFit is a very competitive sphere, I would say, and that's exactly when I started competing. I've competed in the local CrossFit affiliated gyms, that the competitions that they would have, and also there is the international ones such as Open CrossFit Games that happens annually. So then I realized my competitive side when it comes to that. So then I did that for a while, and then just last year when I joined Jana Shakti Group, my kind of commute changed, the lifestyle changed, the commitment changed, so I had to kind of look at a different option.
Options, yeah.
Then I kind of found Co, which is in Colombo 3, and that gym was a more functional fitness, not as, complex movements or weightlifting movements like CrossFit would have. And then lucky enough, I found a really good set of friends there. I had known a few as well. And also the trainer knew the sport as well, knew the game, how to train athletes. And I think from there, we all just, saw this concept of Hyrox picking up traction around the world, and also having a track record of signing up for challenges.
Right.
All six, seven of us signed up for it and trained for it.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
it was always a very, as it comes, you kind of pick it up kind of
But it has
journey.
evolved over the years. And,
Correct,
you picked up the
exactly.
challenge.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. And also, I like the fact that you have a like-minded set of people, which actually
Correct.
has some peer pressure in terms of doing stuff as well.
Yes.
Interesting. Dimani, this leads into something very interesting. You mentioned about it during hearing your explanation about fitness. Now, being in a corporate world, I have been part of some of those discussions, being a corporate athlete, the corporate athleticism. How does it help? I mean, your job is also with a lot of demand right now during the day.
Yeah.
How is there a link between your fitness journey and your corporate performance? How does it come into play in terms of the corporate environment?
I think there's a big correlation. Even if you take top corporates in Sri Lanka and across the world, they really do have that fitness background in them, is one thing that I observed. It came evident to me later only because I also realized that I'm more productive, or my performance in work is actually much better when I'm also physically active. So in my case, before entering corporate and having all these responsibilities, I had that background of fitness. So it was an easy transition for me. But I should say that I started it off also when university had its own demands, personal commitments, COVID, all the economic pressure as well. And I feel like for me it has been very helpful. And for me now, just during the last 5 months when I was training for Hyrox, was also probably the most demanding time that I've had at Jana Shakti at work as well. Like there would be days where I would like run 8K in the morning and turn up to a meeting at 9 and work till like 8 p.m. in the night. So it just has been part of my routine and how it kind of fuels my daily activity. In terms of how it really helps me perform better, because you can always get lost in putting more focus on being physically active, I've noticed how it really has helped me rewire my brain and train my brain in order to be optimal with what I've got and kind of reach the objective. I'll just give you a really easy example. So in CrossFit, how it works is you in the competitions even, so you're given a specific workout to do. Let's say 3 specific movements. You need to do it within, let's say, 10 minutes. So the objective is how you kind of place yourself is you need to do as many rounds as you can.
Right.
So you know the requirement, you know the objective. So how are you going to strategize to it, right? You need to understand what your strengths and weaknesses are. You need to know, okay, I need to pace this out for 10 minutes so that I don't, I optimize that time. And also you need to consider the 3 different movements might be like a machine, free weights, and also the flow. So you need to always figure out how am I going to transition through this fast. So even like for Hyrox, since I did it with a partner, I also need to understand her, strengths and weaknesses. We need to pace ourselves well. We need to communicate. So I feel like all of those are really training me outside corporate, which has helped me kind of subconsciously, apply that at work and in anything in life as well.
Sorry to interrupt. I mean,
Yes.
those fundamentals that you mentioned there, it sounds like in a business plan. You need to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your objectives, and the challenges and the variables that you need to play with, right?
Exactly. And also the outcome as well, because you plan. So for Hyrox as well, we've been strategizing and planning, okay, we'll take this much of time, you'll do this and that. On that day, our plan completely changed. It was a new environment. We always train outdoors, and this was indoors.
Yeah.
The environment changes. There are a lot of 9,000 odd other athletes participating at the same time. So you need to adapt to it, and whatever the outcome is, you've done the best. So it's adapting. It's a lot of training your brain, I would say, and it's been very helpful.
Absolutely. I mean, I can relate to this, what you said right now a lot. I mean, scientifically, I know that when you work out, there's a hormone called serotonin released in your body, and it gives positivity, and you can give focus. And during my career also, I have had many situations that, even in school, when you are taking part in competitive sports, your attention to studies have been quite better than the non participating times. Have you ever felt in your career when you're not working out, have you lost focus or anything, or is it?
Yeah, it's like now my body and my mind has gotten so used to it. If I don't kind of do something within a week, I can't. My energy is low. My focus is not there, and I feel like my whole life's a mess, and I need to rewire. So I just go hit a workout, and I feel so much better.
Good, yeah.
And like you say, I've never come out of a workout or a gym or a competition feeling with low energy. It's always like I've I think for me, fitness is kind of my coping mechanism. Whatever I'm going through, it's always been the way I kind of let out and kind of reset myself.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I feel like it's scientifically, like you said, the stress hormones cortisol is lowered when you're working out.
Working out, yeah.
Your sleep schedule also rewires when you kind of exert yourself. So it's
Absolutely.
all correlated, and I feel like for me, I function with it. And there's, I think, for everyone, for anyone, even if you for leisure, go play cricket, badminton with your friends, you always have that good dopamine kick. You
Absolutely.
feel good. So it's a feel good hormone that
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
releasing.
yeah.
So it's definitely correlated with how I feel
I
on a
can also
day.
relate. I mean, I work with a local rugby club as well. So you're learning from corporate to sports, sports to corporate. It's all interconnected. I mean, in how your brain is wired, how you can focus, how you can strategize. Fantastic. Tricky question. I know for a fact that level 39 at Miraka Tower Janashakti office always have some snacks in the cafeteria. And whenever you walk into the office, I'm sure there's not a day without a piece of cake. So, being a fitness freak, if I may call you like that way, how do you avoid these treats? Or, like, do you like indulge yourself in these treats and work extra? Or how does it work? I'm sure some of our followers who are in the corporate environment gets exposed to a lot of treats, cocktails, meals, etc. How do you balance this? What's your advice?
To be honest, I'm a big foodie as well. I
Right.
think people that see me eating in my quantity or the sugar that I consume sometimes would like question whether I'm actually a fitness person. But this is the deal, right? It's up to you to decide what you want to eat, what comes to your mouth, right? But I have to say that for me, it's two ways. One thing is you need to figure out your relationship with food, and also you need to understand how your body reacts to certain kinds of food and what needs to be taken.
Right.
I would say when there was only one time in my life I actually followed a strict diet, and that was at when I started early with Zumba. I did like a 28-day work challenge where they said, obviously I signed up for that challenge also. It's like follow this meal plan for 28 days. I remember after I finished that 28 days, my relationship with food completely changed.
Changed.
The amount of rice or the amount of curry, the amount of sugar I consume for a day, that completely changed. And I didn't feel bad. I didn't want, always craved it also. So I feel like even from small days, my mother used to like have coffee without sugar. And I think I learned it from her. And for now, I still don't have coffee, tea with sugar.
Sugar, yeah.
So it depends. You have to like wire yourself and have your relationship with food much better. And like you said, all the snacks that we have in office, I would probably be the first to go and grab it. I'll snack on it the whole day. But the thing with me is that I know that the amount of exercise that I do, I have that outlet, right? So I know I'm active. I know I get burn calories a lot during the week. So it's okay for me to kind of look into it. And I know I don't consume sugar in general, like I always stay, but I do have the craving.
Yeah.
And I do indulge in it when I do. But I have like certain rule of thumb. Okay, do I really need this? Do I really need the sugar? I have a very low tolerance in spice, so I sometimes do I really need it. But at the same time, you need. I also kind of restrict myself so that I can indulge with it better in when we go out, when we go for a buffet, go for
Yeah.
a party. So it's kind of making sure you cut down on your daily things, your little coffee to your tea or evening tea, and making sure somewhere else you can enjoy it without regret.
Sure, sure.
And also your metabolism. I think a lot of people, you
Very
might know
important.
friends, people, like even if you have a grain of rice, you just implode. Like
Yeah.
that happens. Even for me, if I have a bit more than rice than I'm supposed to, my body kind of bloats up. So it's kind of you understanding your relationship with food, how your body reacts. And I don't think people should, be frustrated about following a diet because you need to enjoy life also.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's all to do with your mental capacity, or how your brain takes it. Also, as you mentioned, the relationship with food. And at one point, your body does not demand. I mean, especially I have seen, I have read also, when you're giving too much sugar and your body keeps demanding for sugar, and you're hungry. And also the fact that I have been in situations when the work is really stressful, you end up pushing yourself to eat something junk. But if you compensate that with a workout, you might not have that junk food that you really wanted to eat. Also, it's about the relationship that you build with the food.
But also, Kamika, I would like to argue on that because sometimes I also do allow myself to let loose.
Okay.
I think that's why a lot of people, when you start your fitness journey or your weight loss journey, and then it's not sustainable. You know, you have a meal, you feel like I'm craving this burger or whatever.
Right.
You have it, and you feel so regretful. I think it's also a mindset to sometimes kind of allow yourself to have that because at the end of the day, fitness is not just about how your body looks, how much of health risk you're keeping away from. It's also your mental capacity, your mental health. Because for me, I actually, although I was trying to look for a change from Zumba to CrossFit, at the time I feel like it was something that helped me go through whatever the mental kind of challenges that I was having. To be very frank with you, I think at the time I had lost a very close friend of mine to
Right.
suicide.
Okay.
And that was a time when you didn't know how to deal with it. Depression was a taboo topic. Suicide was something you don't talk about. We were not really educated. Also, it was COVID. We were stuck at home.
Yeah.
And then I had a lot of pressure from university with deadlines and competitions going on. Friendships, relationships ended at that time. So that was a lot. So I feel like for me, it was a way of me letting myself out and using fitness as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
So I feel like people should be okay to sometimes take a step back, but also make sure to bounce back
Yeah.
in. So it's okay, I would argue.
The other side of the story is like when somebody, especially for sportsmen who have been like, really working out and doing sports, and suddenly you stop your sporting career, you cannot have the same input of calories coming in, right? You need to balance
Correct,
it off. Yeah.
exactly, definitely.
Diman, you touched a nice point in terms of understanding your body, your metabolism. There's also a concept of body positivity. People say that, if you're fat, you're chubby, that's okay. If you're thin, that's okay. What are your thoughts on that? Is there some truth in it, or should it be accepted in that way?
I think the body positivity movement in itself is misunderstood. I think it's kind of abused at this point just so you can use it as an excuse not to be active and look after your body. So the body positivity kind of right now, I've seen it in my own eyes where like people, your friends within each other, you've been like, you're not going to tell your friend to go, you need to start working out, you need to take care of yourself. Rather, you'd be like, oh, it's the 21st century, you should accept your body as it is. But how I would like to look at body positivity is what we're trying to empower is that your body shouldn't be an obstacle or a challenge for you to do something.
Right.
It may be for you to walk 1 kilometer without stopping. It might be to do a hike. It might be even as simple as lifting your kid, right? Your body shouldn't be an obstacle for you to do it.
Right.
That's what body positivity should really mean. And I think that for me, I've always, different sports require different kinds of training and your body changes. And I think we should be okay with it as well. And that is what we have to accept. Not everyone can, achieve that cover magazine model, Victoria's Secret model body. I've been in fitness for I think enough of time, like years, to know that I'll never attain that. And that is simply because we have different bone structures.
Yeah.
Our genetics play a role. The food that we have
Consuming.
access to
Yeah.
and what we consume is different. So I think body positivity should encourage us to work with what we have, understand what we are capable of, and not to compare ourselves
Yeah.
with what the ideal body type should.
I think for me, more importantly, the underlining thing is like being healthy, right? Mentally and physically both. Dimani, I want to throw this question to you on the background of Janashakti Group is all about breaking barriers and forging futures. We always look at breaking barriers. Now, you're somebody inspire all of us at Office also broke certain barriers in terms of fitness and taking part in a competition like Hyrox. Now, I want you to advise our followers in terms of how do you break mental barriers in fitness. I mean, how do you push yourself to get into this? And you can couple up with a advice to our followers as well in terms of who wants to pursue their journey in fitness.
I would say don't get so engrossed in what others would be telling you what to do and how to do it. I think we need to also understand that fitness isn't a complicated subject. It's not like rocket science. It's not, you don't have to study it in and out. Just don't overthink it. We have to understand what we have, what our body can do, what we want to achieve, and there will be a lot of people telling you what to do and what not to do. It's a matter of filtering who you want to listen to. I think people have been lot of intimidation going on in gyms, when especially for women, when they walk into gyms they feel intimidated, not accepted, even for anyone who's starting their fitness journey in a very uncomfortable kind of body situation. It's a matter of accepting and going out there and taking that first step is what I have to say. I think in terms of inspiring my colleagues in work also, all I say is just do something, even if it's simple as going on a walk, playing badminton, just do it. You need to get out there and do the first step and just reach out to help. I think one thing I'm so grateful with all the communities that I've really worked with is they're so welcoming. People, I think I've lucky enough to find the like-minded people who are always encouraging, giving you tips, correcting you, and I've also been open to criticism, and that has really helped me educate myself. I've never studied fitness or nutrition or whatsoever, but it's always a trial and error. So for someone who's starting their fitness journey, it's just show up. I know it's easier said than done. Just show up and get the right help. There's a lot of information out there. You might be kind of overwhelmed with all of that, but just do it. I think no one's here to judge. No one's going to remember how much you lifted, how much you weighed, or something like this. This is yourself doing yourself a favor, and also the loved ones around you, because it's always for you to take care of someone else, you need to take care of yourself first.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely an investment
Absolutely.
worth.
Beautifully crafted and said it well. So, to wrap up our conversation, what's your next challenge you're looking forward to? Have you signed
We'll
up for
only
any
see.
challenges? Yeah.
I mean, Ironman is around corner for Sri Lanka going
Yeah,
on.
there you go.
Yes,
Okay.
there's a lot of things. There's a full marathon that could happen.
Okay.
There's LSR coming up.
Yeah.
So you never know what I'll be signing up for.
Don't worry, the
Wait and see.
Janashakti group, the JXG team will be cheering for you. Dimani, thank you very much for taking time and inspiring all of us and our followers as well. Very thought-provoking, different angles of looking at fitness. So thank you for sharing your experience and your thoughtfulness about this whole subject. So I take this opportunity to thank you and wish you all the very best in your fitness journey. Not only on your fitness journey, but especially with regard to the role that you play at Janashakti Group. All the best, and thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Gamika. It's a pleasure.
So, folks, that's a end of this discussion on fitness. This is our second episode. We spoke about fitness and a very different angle. I think Dimani concluded that discussion in a very nice point. Always have a purpose in life. It's not about getting that the six-pack body or the toned body. No, have a purpose. Why do you do it for? Secondly, take that first step. Break the barrier. Going into the gym, turning up is a first step. Doing your fitness, it's not only about the gym. Taking that 1 kilometer walk, at least start with a 15-minute walk. Do some exercise. Do some, some activity, and you will thank us later. So your body deserves to be healthy. Your mind deserves to be healthy, and that's the message we wanted to drive. And Janashakti Group is all about breaking barriers and forging futures, and we want to break that mental barriers and ensure that we have a healthy nation. Thank you very much. Join us again for another exciting episode of JXG Spotlight.